Holy shit, I look good. Welcome to Attack on Titan Revolution. We've got shitty ODM gear. I do not remember them not having an idle animation for when you turn. Why am I flying like that? Multiple, very unique game modes. So I hit the play button, and I have the option to choose between fucking protect, escort, guard, and defend. What is the difference between any of those? And next to no innovative or creative gameplay. Where the fuck is his nape hitbox? Oh, and there's gambling. A fucking ludicrous amount of gambling. Can you tell how excited I am? I'll be perfectly honest. Right after Titan Warfare fell off a cliff and the devs started working on Jujutsu Shitfinite, I played this game. A lot. It was bad. I prestiged. I'm like level 100. It's not okay. This game is an infection. It's seriously some next level dog shit. So I stopped playing the game for a really long time because it's terrible. But I decided I'd come back to it and talk about it again after I made the video on Freedom War, because that is a prime example of a really good Attack on Titan game. This is a prime example of a awful Attack on Titan game. So to get back into it, I made a brand new account to see if they had added any sort of new player onboarding or tutorial. They didn't. Spoiler alert. You literally, I played a whole mission, I joined the game, they don't even, there's nothing. Literally nothing. Like, there is actually zero way for somebody who has never played an Attack on Titan game before to know what the fuck they are doing if they join this game. This gets even worse when you consider the fact that even somebody who has played other Attack on Titan games is going to be completely lost when they play this game. Because yeah, the basic ODM controls are the same, but there are a whole lot of bullshit progression systems that are just never explained and are really important. Like, I made it on my first prestige, where you have to get to like level 100 or whatever, I made it to like level 80 before I actually started fully taking advantage of the perk systems, and I was sitting here like, why the fuck is this game so difficult? And it was because I was literally just nerfing myself into the ground because this core mechanic of the game hadn't been explained in any capacity. So anyway, after you actually figure out what the fuck you're doing, because this game doesn't tell you, the gameplay isn't actually worth it. You literally, it is Attack on Titan, alright. You attack the Titans. You don't do much else. You hold Q and E and you fly a Titan neck. That's the whole game. Honestly, if you're looking for a review of Attack on Titan Revolution and you don't want to listen to me rant anymore, you can stop here. That's the whole thing. You kill Titans. There is no other purpose. You mindlessly kill the bots for like hours on end, and then you max out your character, and then you press the little prestige button and do it again. Riveting gameplay. You know, they try and make it look like their game has more going for it than it actually does when they added a bunch of game modes. So basically, there are a couple different maps, and each map has one game mode unique to that map. So I came back to the game and I was like, oh cool, there's actually like more to do now. All of the original game modes, except for one, are the same thing, copy-pasted. There is a point on the map that you cannot let die. The Titans will go after that point, and you just have to have the DPS to kill them before they kill the thing you're trying to protect. And then there's another one where you kill colossal titans who can't fight back, walk super slow, and it's the easiest thing ever and shouldn't even be considered a game. I stopped playing this game for like half a year, and they've added this. This isn't even new content. This is the same content, but they put a fucking castle on the map, gave it a health bar, and said, don't let that die. And this is really disappointing because I've wanted an Attack on Titan game that has a rumbling mode for a really long time. The rumbling, in theory, could be a really cool event that you could design a whole game around. I mean, that shit would be awesome. Think about that if you had to fight the Founding Titan. And instead, they chose to make a bunch of Colossal Titans that do no damage and don't attack you for one of their game modes. Like, they were basically handed one of the coolest concepts in television history, and they still managed to make it lame. I don't even know how one accomplishes that. That's some, like, next level dog shittery. Alright, so we've established that all the base game modes are terrible and you shouldn't play them because they're all copy-paste versions of one another and they're all bad. But they have also been working on a lot of raids, and raids are basically you fight a Titan shifter, and if you beat the Titan shifter you get a small chance to shift into that Titan or whatever. But these are also really terrible. So basically the main problem I have with these raids is they are impossible to do solo. Like you can't do them solo. You need a full squad to do raids of any difficulty, or you need to have a specific bloodline. This is just terrible game design. I don't know why this is how they went about implementing this. I don't want to have to go server hop around to try and find a competent squad, and I'm not gonna try and convince my friends to play this shitty ass game for the sake of this video. Why? Just make it so that, and it's because, just to be clear, it's not the Titan shifter that's the problem, it's the fucking massive Titan bombardment that you get at the beginning. They basically throw Titans at you, and it's another defend the point mission that I've been talking about for the past 3 minutes. And you just sit there and you kill Titans, and then the point dies because you don't have enough people. And I don't understand. Like, you can't even make it to the Titan shifter part if you don't have a team, which is just awful. With the Armored Titan raid, though, you can actually fight the Armored Titan right off the bat. They just also send a whole lot of Pier Titans at you. And I did get a chance to test out and see what some of the Human v Titan shifter combat feels like. And it's not very good, I'm not gonna lie. When I think of good Human v Titan shifter combat, I think of the human having to be incredibly fast and avoid getting hit at all costs, or it's just over. You're done. But also, you have the massive advantage of speed. In this game, it's basically a fucking Dragon Ball fight, where you fly at the Titan shifter, and then the Titan shifter blasts you across the map, and then you fly back at him because your health pool's massive. That's just not super Attack on Titan-esque for me, and it just kind of sucks. I don't know, there's just something wrong about getting decked by the Armored Titan like 6 times, and then just like brushing yourself off and coming back. Like, that just feels incorrect to me. That could just be a personal nitpick, but I do not like fighting the Titan shifters in this game. Okay, so that finally covers all the gameplay that I had to talk about. Quote-unquote gameplay. But, now we can talk about the progression, which isn't much better. So basically, your gear can be upgraded. That's the main way you're going to progress in the game. And every time you do a mission, you get gold. And every time you get gold, you can spend it on upgrading your gear. This, in theory, isn't a problematic system because, you know, it's just linear progression, it's whatever, it's nothing revolutionary, basically every game under the sun does it. There are some very key flaws in the way that these game devs executed this progression system, though. For one thing, every difficulty is level locked. So, basically, you can't join a difficulty when your gear is low level, like a high difficulty. Which, I mean, kinda makes sense, I guess, because you're just gonna get shit on, but if you're skilled enough to beat the higher difficulties, shouldn't you just be allowed to beat the higher difficulties? Just put that grade down as what's recommended, and if people still go in there, they'll get shit on and lose and die, and then they'll go down a difficulty. But if people go in there and win, they're more skilled and they can progress faster, and then they don't have to grind as much, which is cool, and they should do that. The second problem that I have with the way the devs handled this progression is that you can't upgrade one gear ability too much before you upgrade some of the other ones. So basically, speed and damage are obviously the best stats. They are the two objectively most important things in the game, because speed influences how fast you can get to a Titan's neck, and damage influences if you kill the Titan in one hit, and not killing a Titan in one hit is a huge problem. So, theoretically, what you'd want to do is get your speed and damage as high as possible, as quickly as possible, even if you have to spend more money on bigger upgrades earlier, because you don't want to go into a higher difficulty and not be able to one-shot Titans. The problem is, every single aspect of your gear has to reach a certain level before you can keep upgrading other aspects of your gear past a certain level. Why? Why do this? This is stupid. I mean, there's the money amount required for each upgrade already increases exponentially. So why are you capping it? Like, think about it this way, right? If I go out of my way to grind the extra money for more damage instead of grinding less money for my other stats, why can I not upgrade my damage until I've upgraded my other stats? This doesn't make sense. You should be able to pick what you want to level up. You shouldn't have to be an all-rounder until max level. Because also, the recommended grade for certain difficulties doesn't actually ensure that you can one-shot Titans, which makes the game play like shit. Circling a Titan, cutting their neck, and them not dying is awful, because you effectively killed the Titan, you hit its nape, and then you just get grabbed because it doesn't fucking die. I actually don't understand why they don't just make it so you can upgrade what you want. The cost increases for a reason. You don't have to add more caps. But anyways, alongside upgrading your gear, you also just gain levels while you play the game, and levels give you skill points, and skill points can be invested into skills. This I don't really have a problem with. I mean, it's a skill tree. Sue me, I don't know. What do you want me to say? The final form of progression that I have the most problems with is the perk system. So, the perk system isn't a completely original system. A lot of other games have perks. The main problem that I have with this game system is that all of the perks are locked behind gambling. So, in most good games that I've played, the perks are one of two things. One, you either have a set amount of perks that you can pick when you make a new character or a new build or whatever, that help make your build feel a little more unique compared to every other build. You know, like it might give you a little more movement speed, a little more health, a little more damage resistance, a little more damage. It's just little buffs that help make your character feel unique. The other system is where you can pick perks, but then you also have to pick debuffs to balance out the perks. So you could have some really strong perks, but then you also have some crazy debuffs to balance it out. This game does neither. It says, oh yeah, you want good perks? You can have good perks and be overpowered, you just have to actually grind your life away. And these rates to get perks aren't good at all. The rarest perks in the game have a 0.2% drop chance. 0.2%. It takes multiple minutes to beat these missions on the hardest difficulty. Do you know how long it's going to take you to get 4 0.2% chance drops? And also, some of the best perks aren't even that good compared to the other ones. So you could grind for hours to get this 0.2% perk or whatever, and then it's just dog shit compared to the meta stuff. So, like, why? It's just, I know why. We all know why. They're milking the game for playtime. They want to waste your time and make money. That's why. But all the RNG shit aside, I actually thought that there was some hope for this system when I discovered that you can put perks together to make perks of higher rarities. So basically, if I put 10 rare perks together and pay a certain amount of money, I can make an epic perk. I thought that this might be the system's saving grace because, you know, you get enough rare perks, you make an epic perk, you get enough epic perks, you make the next rarity up, and then you can just keep going up until you hit the highest rarity. And it'll still take a hell of a long time, but at least you actually feel like you're accomplishing something instead of mindlessly wasting away trying to get the 0.2% drop item. And then, that is also it has a chance to fail. You can get like 10 legendary perks and merge them together, and they have a very good chance of just not working, and then you lose all the perks and the money you spent. So, like, yeah, you could go try and do that and grind perks from the bottom up. But then there's also a very good chance that you're still wasting your time because it's also locked behind RNG. Before I end the video, I think it's only fair after all the shit talking I've done about the game to talk about all the things that I actually like about the game. There's a total of 1. The cutscenes in this game are beautiful. Whoever did the animations for the ODM gear cutscenes needs to pat themselves on the back because this is phenomenal. Literally every single cutscene I've seen has been incredibly impressive, and it's the only part of the game that I would actually, like, I recommend playing the game to watch the cutscenes and then you should leave. I don't think I've been trying to hide the fact that I think this game is really bad. I don't like it. I think it lacks passion, there's no creativity behind it, and I think it's just a dead bandit beater that does not deserve the thousands of players it has. The sad thing about it is, I think the dev team is actually really talented. Like, you can see from the cutscenes and some of the Titan models and how nice a lot of the maps are, that these people actually do know what they're doing, and they could make a good game if they wanted to. But instead, they are actively choosing to milk their player base for money. Which, I mean, they have every right to do so, but I always think it's sad when somebody sells out like that. If you enjoy playing this game, more power to you. You like this Attack on Titan game, I'm not gonna hold that against you. Me personally, I just, they took such a cool concept, and in my opinion, they just made a really dry bandit beater out of it. And I don't know, I just think this whole game is a shame. But, that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening to my stupidly long rant. Peace.